Hey, I'm filming on Thanksgiving. Currently hiding from the family a little bit. I have been up since I don't know when, really early. I actually have like dark things under my eyes. That never happens. Is this a new stage of old? Maybe it's the shadow from... Yeah, okay, wait. Nah, it's still kind of there, but it's also the shadow from my glasses. Yeah. Anyway, things are going good. I've run into something that's like bothering me a little bit about my story. When I was plotting, the middle didn't seem saggy, but as I'm writing it, I'm like, oh god. Now, this could just be because I'm spending so much time in the scene, whereas if I would have read it, it would have just went past really quick. So, it could be like that. But I do have another concern. The first book that I wrote, it's very linear. Boom, boom, boom. I only skip time in like one place. Maybe two places. No, I skipped time in two places, alright? But otherwise, the book is like boom, boom, boom. So like, there's no gap that's more than like a night, This book, however, there's a couple different spaces, like a lot of different spaces, where I'm skipping several days at a time. This story actually takes place over the course of an entire month. I was kind of getting worried like that I was just like jumping around too much. So I marked my, I don't have it open. So whenever I had like a skip, like a time skip, I put a little clock on it, on the scene card in Scrivener. And then if something was sequential, I lumped it in under like a file folder. Looking at it that way, it doesn't actually seem like there's a lot of time skips. So maybe that was just me in my head freaking myself out. It's definitely not zero. Anyway, I've started to notice that I am changing more things as I go forward. Probably the biggest thing is I'm leaving things out of conversations because it's just way too much in the conversation. It's very easy to write a whole bunch of stuff in a conversation when you're doing like an overview. It's not working in real life. Like if I had them say all that, it would be the weirdest conversation ever. And also some of the stuff I'm taking out is just gonna be gone forever. I'm not moving it elsewhere. Doing some triage, and I'm definitely getting a better feel of the romance troubles as I write it out. Like I'm down there in the trenches, figuring out how this would work. I'm having the benefit of like being able to change the first book, but that's a secret. That's not actually a secret. Doing this, because I was writing the second book as like world building for my first book. I know, strange, but it's actually working. Like I'm actually getting a better feel for how things are working in the society and how that would influence the characters. So now I've already gone back to the first book and changed like a little thing. So it's already working. This is successful. The one problem is there are two main characters, not really main characters, two major characters from the first book that are still in the second book, but like aren't major in this book. And I am a little worried about that because like if you have a major character and suddenly they're not, is that upsetting to someone who liked them? I'm going to say yes. One, there's a reason that they're not in the story until like the halfway mark. And then the other one, my main character doesn't actually like that person. So why would she talk to this person now that they're not trapped together? So I don't know. I feel like that's just going to be the way it is, even though it feels strange to write them out so much. So yeah, that is a concern. So I am uncovering some world building issues that might just have to be, a magician did it. But I am trying to figure it out. Mostly because I'm looking at this and the city was so incredibly cut off. Where were they getting a couple things? Like I know where they got food, I know where they got new stone for the walls, but where did they get the stone for something else? And I'm figuring that out. I'm actually like writing lore for the stone. I mean, it's not major. I feel like most people wouldn't even ask the question of where it came from, but I know some people would because I would. However, word count wise, I'm about to hit 40,000, which is interesting because I'm only halfway through the book. So my first draft might actually be 80,000. My first drafts are never that long. So I think this is another point in story engines. Here's the deal. It might be, because it could be forcing me to put fourth in. Maybe the middle is too... Maybe there's something in the middle. I'm gonna have to, like, write it and then reread it. You know, adding to this worry is that the first book was all about, like, you know, dealing with the undead because they were trapped out, surrounded by them. And even though there's a crisis situation going on, that they're not as concerned. And in a way that makes sense, because they're in a safer situation, even though crap is going down. Like, the reason they were in so much danger in the first book is because they were by themselves. They had no help. So it is a big tone shift. But anyway, I'm blathering on about that. Still on target, have not dropped below the line. I got really close a couple days. I definitely don't have like a buffer anymore. I'm definitely just getting in. Now my computer, still being a butt. I had to change the motherboard and the processor out, blah, blah, blah. And when I reconnected everything, the front panel, the audio panel, doesn't work anymore. The USBs work, but the audio jacks next to it are not working. It's recognizing that something's plugged in, but it's not playing sound. It's so annoying. Has not been fixed, but the audio in the rear works. So now I just have my headphones going all the way to the back of the computer. But that was why there was no video last week, because I wouldn't have been able to listen to it. Well, see, I don't think I'm gonna mess around with it more. I think I'm just gonna leave it busted. It's connected properly. I know it is. Okay. There's just something not right there, and bleh. Whatever. What do you think, Kalani, huh? Do you care? You don't care. Look at her. Do you care, Kalani? Meow, meow, meow. But anyway, that's it for this week's update. I will keep on chugging along, and hopefully you are too. Don't chug too hard, though. I know it's getting down to like the end of the month, so I know that some people are freaking out. Don't freak out. So, hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. By the time the next video comes out, Nano will be over, and we'll see if I completed this nightmare. I definitely wouldn't have completed this story. There's no way I'm completing this story. I'd have to do a whole other Nano. See you next week. Bye.